The issue of missing and murdered women is at a crisis level, with many people demanding a national inquiry. First of all, do you agree that there should be a national inquiry? And secondly, what tangible solution do you feel could be found with a national inquiry? We're going to start with Sheldon.
Well, I agree a national inquiry should take place. What that'll do is it'll clearly show the lack of response from the city police and the RCMP when you go file a complaint, that not a complaint, but you file a concern that you're reporting one of your family members, your cousin, your sister, auntie's gone missing. I went through that experience firsthand about a year ago. My wife's cousin went missing. We phoned the city police. It was very nonchalant in terms of trying to get up and go find her. We wound up finding her on our own. We found her here in the city 2 weeks later, but we were able to get her back. My concern is if no offense to any of our Caucasians people listening out there, but if a white woman went missing, you'll have all the city detachment police all looking, and the RCMP posting posters. There's a big concern. That's my issue in terms of missing women. That's why I want to raise that profile, bring that to the Assembly Manitoba Chief's table, make it a priority. And one of the ways, I like I said earlier, I placed a call to the Premier's office. So that was one of my main concerns, and the response was, get elected and the door's open. Come on, we'll meet you right away. Let's have a serious discussion and let's work together. Let's make this better. When our women go missing, they have to show that they have some compassion. Let's find them. Mm-hmm. And the reasons why whatever reason why they're where they're at, everybody's going through difficulties in life. It's not easy being a Native person in this country. It's difficult. We're living in high poverty, lack of housing in the community. So the social issues aren't at the greatest. They're not really great in the community. That's why I'm running for Grand Chief. I want to work with the chiefs and let's make it better for our people.
I firmly believe that there is a war on Indigenous people in this country right now, and I think that the ones who are facing the greatest consequence of this war are the keepers of our home fires, and the keepers of our home fires are the women in our communities, the ones that bring the young ones into the world. And I think that there's no coincidence, there is no coincidence in the fact that Manitoba is ground zero for child apprehension in the modern world, and the fact that we have very high numbers of women who go missing or are murdered in the streets of our cities across the country. I'm very concerned that there's a connection between the two, and I think that we have raised the profile politically. As organizations, AMC, MKO, and SCO, we put it on the table of the AFN, and it became a very big political campaign platform for the former national chief, and then he did take it to the Confederation table for the provinces to get on board. So we have built momentum. What we run up against is a Conservative government that doesn't want to listen to the calls of the people. And the only way that we can bring consequence for that lack of respect and that lack of action from this Conservative government is to look towards a new government in 2015. And I think that AMC has a responsibility to do our part to make sure that there's a different government in place that will heed the calls for a national public inquiry. The inquiry will bring out from the dark corners the issues that are creating the high numbers of lost people that we're experiencing now. It will arrive at tangible solutions such as resource centers and emergency shelters and places for young women to go to access services that aren't currently there, as well as young men. You know, we can't forget that there's a lot of young men who are missing or becoming lost. I understand there was a tragedy just in Calgary the other day, and there was a vigil last night in Calgary for a young man who went missing and is now deceased. It's a tragedy that's unfolding on many levels, and we have to do our part to continue to push the issue.
Well, this issue is a long-standing one, and my support for this is unequivocal. I would support this issue 110%. And it touches home to me very, very dearly, and it's in my heart. And here's why, and the families have to forgive me, but I have to, because it's very much a public issue. Kelly Morso, my community, brutally murdered in Ottawa. Vanessa Briere, missing the streets here of Winnipeg. Jennifer Catchway, still missing, still out there. Killer at large, perhaps. We don't know, but she's missing. And of course, a good friend of mine, a school friend of mine, was Sharon Abraham, who was one of the victims of the Pictou farms. So four in the last several years in my community. I held a rally back there in Saugeen in 2009. We brought out people trying to create awareness around this issue, and it has my full support. And I believe we need a central national database. We need a DNA database, and we need to link all the jurisdictions, all the provinces and territories, and try to sort this out. And there's two schools of thought here, but some feel that, and the government is they're dragging their feet on this. They're saying it's going to cost tens and tens of millions of dollars, and it's going to be all the lawyers and all the specialists that are making all the money. We'd sooner put money on the streets and to try address the issues that are the root causes of this. And our women, our Aboriginal women, are the most vulnerable segment of Canada, and we're also they're disproportionately represented in prisons, and the numbers are staggering, over 1,000 missing and murdered. The highway of tears, and it goes on and on, each jurisdiction. So government can drag their feet on this, but you also hold them to fire and you say, give us services. While you're dragging your feet, we're going to keep pushing for this, but you also have to give us money and services on the ground where we need it in our communities to help the most vulnerable. Children, women, child in care, all that.